What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I bring to you yet again Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy. I do really enjoy making these videos, even though it seems like we just keep talking about the same things getting pushed. I greatly, honestly appreciate your guys' support in watching these videos. You guys do such an amazing job, and I really am thankful you guys watch these videos. So let's talk about what Jeff Grubbs said. You know, he's our go-to source. Honestly, it seems like everybody's go-to source for most things gaming, but definitely Mass Effect. Over the last couple of weeks, couple months, he's definitely, I think, built like a mini following specifically for that. So, all right, things have changed. Smaller things have changed. So let's go over what he said, the good, the bad, and go from there. So he did a podcast. I believe this was like Friday night or Saturday, and he said, up until like this last week, I know the plan for sure was to announce it in early October, release it in late October. So good news. Maybe bad news, it's 2020. Maybe that could start to slip. It sounds like maybe that's a possibility. Nothing for sure yet. I know it's real. I've seen more than enough evidence to know it's real, but it's still 2020, and they haven't announced it yet. I think EA was planning to have this Mass Effect trilogy be the other thing other than Star Wars Squadrons for $60 this holiday. That's why I'm still pretty confident it will make it out. But with everything else falling apart, like across the board, I could also see them wanting to just delay it. But that's not for sure. That's not a guarantee yet. Like, that hasn't even been decided yet. It just seems like it's a possibility that's on the table. But last I heard, October for both. So, yeah, good and bad. There's good and bad for both of those. I look at that as, you know, we kind of have talked a little bit about this. This is a year of bad things happening. This is a year of moves being made, right? And we've heard a long time. Actually, you know, him saying October. Now, I trust him, and I've said that before, right? I trust him with my life in terms of the Mass Effect gaming, in terms of maybe gaming in general. But we have heard a lot of people say September. Now, things literally move all the time, and it seems like, especially with Mass Effect, things move even more. So I'm not going to hold anybody, you know, under the fire for this, but let me tell you, again, and to my knowledge, he's the first one to say October now, because before that, it was September. It was that we were going to get an announcement in September, and the release of the game was going to be in October. That late October date, October 30th, that seems like it's still going to be it. Remember, we got the game retailer, right, that said that. All this different stuff. It really seems like that is going to be the date, if it is. Now, I said, and in fact, I believe I saw kind of him talking about this on Twitter, and I had said, the way he words it almost sounds as if we shouldn't be all that worried about it being delayed out of 2020. I think when he talks, but yet again, when I hear this entire thing, like when you read his entire blurb of what he was saying, it sounds more like he does mean kind of delay it completely out of 2020. When he first had said it, or if you take kind of some of those things maybe out of context, depends on what your context is, right? It does also, I think, in a positive way, maybe sound like even if it does get delayed, it maybe wouldn't get delayed out of 2020 entirely. And in fact, honestly, we may never know what the heck has happened with Mass Effect, you know, this remastered trilogy, but one thing that we may be able to put together is if this game was at some point going to release in September and they pushed it back to October. If that's true, then I think that if they kind of just follow suit and do, okay, well, instead of late October, we're going to do November. You know what I mean? Like, if they were going to do September, 29th or whatever day it was going to be, now it's October 30th. What's another month? What's like November 20th to them? You know what I mean? The way he says it, and by the way, I do completely think that's true. EA, the only thing they really have is Star Wars Squadrons right now. You look at all these other, Ubisoft is probably going to have a really nice, you know, holiday season. Sony and Microsoft, you know, they have their small little indie consoles coming out. They should be fine. You know, but you look across the board, okay? And a lot of companies, even like Activision with like Crash and Call of Duty, like there's going to be, a lot of these companies are going to do quite well. I guess EA also technically has the Star Wars bundle or the DLC coming to The Sims 4, so there's that as well, but that's September. I do kind of go along with Jeff here where it's like they probably need something else. And look, Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy, it's a big deal. It's not even as big of a deal as some games that they've had in the past. Like, I don't think it would do as well as maybe what they would have expected from like a Battlefront, maybe even from a brand new Mass Effect game, from a Battlefield, right, for sure, even like a Jedi Fallen. I mean, you go down the list, This is a big game, and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. I want this game so badly. A lot of people are excited for it. But when you look at it, all in all, I don't know if it's like the top thing that EA could ever produce in its life. You know what I mean? But even still, it's all they got. They have that, and they have Star Wars Squadrons, which is a $40 game. That game is not even a full price game. So going into this fall period, this holiday season, they really don't have anything. I mean, Star Wars Squadrons is going to do really, really well. I think the $40 price point is going to be pretty grabbing to a lot of people. This too, I think people will buy this. I mean, there's a lot of other games we talked about before. October is a really, really packed time, but I think a lot of people will buy this. So, I try to remain positive. I think that videos and kind of series and, things like this, like how I do multiple videos on kind of the same game and kind of follow it through, I think that kind of helps me remain a little bit more positive because we're all kind of on this bandwagon together. You know what I mean? We're all in this fight, this journey, all as one. And I think that, I want to remain positive, not just for me, but for you guys as well. And even the way the history has kind of done it. And again, I would look at two things. Number one is if there was maybe that secret internal delay, it was only delayed a month. So to say, okay, well, it was supposed to come out late September. Now it's coming out late October. You know what? Just forget about it. It's coming out late January. It's like, well, you skipped November, December. Now, the problem is you really don't want to release all that much after Black Friday. Now, this year, by the way, though, is so completely different, and people's money is all over the place, and jobs are still trying to, come back and all that stuff. It's weird because is Black Friday even going to be what it normally is? You know what I mean? Is the spending season going to kind of go into December this year when normally it stops at Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is like the last day, and then it pretty much ends. I mean, there are still sometimes games that come out early December to kind of capitalize right before Christmas, but then that's it. Like once we get into middle of December, it's over. So you got to wonder, well, late November, even if it's after Black Friday, I guess it's still possible because you still have that first week in December, but would they be scared about that? Would they be scared to miss something like Black Friday, Cyber Monday? Would you want to go past that and have only Star Wars Squadrons? I mean, those are things that we just can't know. Only EA would know that. But I still think it's pretty darn likely something like this would come out. Now, the question is, and I have seen people say this, okay, because I think there's a lot of people very excited, and I think this is going to, once they announce it, we can definitely talk about it, but I do just want to throw this in here just as kind of like a tease. I have seen a lot of people kind of be on the opposite side, kind of be angry or just not excited for this at all, and talking about how don't forget this is EA, and they don't normally do remasters like this, so we got to be careful about the quality of it. I do, to an extent. I'm not going to let that stop me from being excited, at least not right now, right? I mean, if the game gets announced and it just looks absolutely terrible, then that's something. But I do want to kind of just acknowledge those people that, I do hear you. I think that that's a valid point. We don't know with EA. EA is very unpredictable, right? They can be good sometimes. They can be very, very bad. So we do have to see just in general. And by the way, I don't count sports games when I talked about that. Obviously, they'll have Madden. They actually already have Madden, but that seems to be a disaster. NHL, FIFA, those games are still coming out. So EA does have stuff, but in terms of that big blockbuster outside of a sports game, again, Star Wars Squadrons. But we'll have to see. I'm going to remain positive. I still think this game is a 2020 game. Quality aside, once they show the trailer, if they don't look very remastered-y, then we can kind of talk about that, in future videos. Hopefully, and I said this last time, I'm saying it again now, I'm sorry. Hopefully, this is one of the last times we have to talk about this, and then next time we can say, oh my God, finally, it got announced. At this point, last time I made a video, we were supposed to get a reveal in September. Here we are, September 1st, and now we're being told that we have to wait until October. So more waiting. That's okay. We'll talk about it when we get there. But again, truly, truly appreciate you guys watching. We're all kind of in this fight together. It feels really, really cool to have this kind of group that's pretty separate, I would say, from my normal audience. But I'm very, very happy to have you guys here. So make sure, if you haven't already, you're subscribed, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. October will be a very busy month for me, on this channel, so it's not just going to be Mass Effect stuff. So, obviously hitting that bell helps you guys out quite a bit with that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.